we've got that coming in. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on Disney Plus. It's Sunday night. That means it's time for our weekly Q&A. So we've got questions that have come in from our patrons and our YouTube channel members. We also have a live chat going on right now. So a number of people in the live chat. So just want to make sure they can hear me. So hello to Josh, James, and also Ben. Thank you very much for jumping in on this one. So we've got lots and lots of questions this week. This week's been really busy with the upfronts. We had National Streaming Day. There's also been lots of other announcements. So there's been tons of bits and pieces. If you aren't aware of what this is a weekly show which I do where if you are a Patreon or a YouTube channel member, you get to submit questions every week for this Q&A. You also get to join in with the live chat as well, and you can ask questions as there. Usually aim to go for about 45 minutes. And obviously live chat as well, so if you become a member you can join in on the live chat and join in that way. You can also use the super chat function as well. All of this helps fund the YouTube channel, the podcast, and the website, just paying for all the bits and pieces and stuff. So yeah, so let's jump in. So as I said, we've got lots. So what I tend to do is I go through like a page at a time, and then at the end of each page I jump back into the live chat and jump off. So let's jump into the thing straight off the bat with Khalid asking, now that Discovery Warner Media merger is going to be official and Amazon MGM are in talks, in consideration going to be the name is it bringing them all together, the name of the game for this decade, and also how will this affect Disney going forward when it comes to streaming services such as Disney Plus and Hulu? Right, okay, so let's break this one down. So if you're not aware, Discovery Plus or Discovery and Warner Media are going to become a new company next year. Basically, A&T is selling all Warner Media, so they're all going to be merging together. There's also been discussions going on between Amazon and MGM. There's also been some extra sort of discussions going on with perhaps even like Comcast buying out the Discovery and Warner Media thing. So at the minute, we're going to see lots of mergers, lots of things coming in together. And I think with this is, you've got to look at it. Consolidation is going to be happening, and we're going to see more of it. There's too many streaming services. I think, sure everyone in the live chat will agree, we've all got way too many streaming services, and we're going to see some consolidation because there's just not enough customers to support them all. So we're going to start seeing them dripping in and merging together, because I think that is definitely going to be an issue. For example, the random movie fan has heard that Warner Media is selling Rooster Teeth. I'm not surprised. It doesn't really seem to fit with their standard model. Rooster Teeth, the only one actually I would watch of them would be Inside Gaming, and then they've kind of stopped doing their videos. So, but yeah, I don't tend to watch too much more of the Rooster Teeth stuff. But this whole thing of bringing them together is what we're going to see more of. This is going to be some strong competition for Disney. Disney and Netflix and everyone is really, really going to kind of come together and just make more content. It means Disney are going to have to keep bringing it in. Now, I do believe personally that the marketplace is showing us that you're going to have these multi-big companies like Amazon, you're going to have Peacock, you're going to have your HBO Maxes, which are going to offer lots of different variety. And so therefore I think ultimately Disney's streaming bundle is going to become one product. Whether or not the sports and the entertainment separate, I still could see that happening. I could easily see Hulu and Disney Plus becoming one Disney Plus, with maybe Hulu just being the live TV element, and then there will be maybe ad-supported version and an ad-free version, similar to what's going on with everybody else. I think it's going to happen. I think the market is going to dictate of what they're going on. If you want the cheap versions of everything, you get the adverts. If you want to pay a little bit more and not have the adverts, we're going to see it. I definitely think that's going to be something that's going to come down the line. So I definitely think the Warner and Discovery merger is going to be a big deal, and it's going to be an even better one. So the random movie fan also said he thinks that Disney should buy Rooster Teeth. I disagree on that one. I don't think Disney actually used to own Maker, which was a YouTube studio, and they used to have loads and loads of YouTubers. I think I was even approached myself to become of it. And I decided that I didn't want to have my have Disney having any control over my content, so I decided to decline the offer, and then they ended up doing a whole host of things and selling. So I generally think Disney are better off staying with proper media rather than like YouTube and all the rest of it. It's a very different kind of thing, and I don't think it's really the wheelhouse. But that's fine. So let's jump into the next question. So streamer asks, now that Disney has announced that The Walking Dead will be on Disney Plus as a Star exclusive from season 11, and the Entertainment One holds the non-syndication distribution rights, effectively new episodes, do you think we'll see other licensed shows such from US networks on Disney Plus, like A Million Little Things? I think the question is going to be: is do they have the streaming rights, or if they have the TV rights? Because if they have the streaming rights, I could see them putting on whatever they've got access to. They're going to put on there. I definitely think that would be something they could do. It depends whether or not they have the streaming rights or the broadcast rights. So I think we might see a little bit more. I mean, I was not expecting this week to have The Walking Dead be one of the big stories of the week coming to Disney Plus in the UK and Ireland, because Disney own the distribution rights for that series internationally. So there's a lot of questions on this. So there's quite a few. So as far as getting other shows, I do think we will do. He then went on to add, with the Fox channels closing, when do you think we'll see all 9 seasons of American Horror Story on Disney Plus? And do you think they will release season 10 like how they're doing it in the US with next day airings, even if it's not on a Friday? Okay, so currently they're on Netflix over here, so I do think that they might stay there for a while. I think whatever Netflix has got going on with the previous shows is depends how long that contract is. Was that for the entire series, like Grey's Anatomy and we see that with a lot of the established series. So, but I could see us getting those episodes very quickly. I think it would be very good for it to be on Disney Plus to kind of bring in a different audience and not have that delay. Get people in. I mean, my wife loves American Horror Story. I haven't actually watched it. It's on my thing to watch now because it looks like it's going to become a much bigger part of Disney Plus over here. So we've got that one going on. There's also American Horror Stories, which is the spin-off series, which is going to be coming to FX and Hulu in the United States in July. And I suspect we will be getting it in the same time here on Star, because it has been confirmed as a Star exclusive on Disney Plus internationally. But that's different because it's a brand new series, so they haven't got any of the issues. But I very much could see American Horror Story Season 10 dropping onto Disney Plus and then having to be removed when it goes to Netflix. I think that's going to be the issue for us. Okay, let's have a look here. So, streamer also asked, when Disney announced that the Orville will be coming to Disney Plus in September in the UK, do you think they'll be referring to the first and second season, or will the third premiering later, or will it be referring to all seasons debuting in September? Right, so I think they were referring to seasons 1 and 2. We don't yet know when season 3 of the Orville is coming to anywhere. They've been filming it earlier this year. Obviously, they're going to do special effects. It might take a little bit longer to turn that one around. But I do think, I personally think they were referring to the second season, because there's been no mention of the Orville from anybody this last week about it coming in anytime soon. They've been talking about a lot of shows coming up in the next few months, and that one wasn't mentioned. So that one's there. Right, so now let's jump into the live chat. Let's see what we've got going on over here. So, Joe said, how was your weekend? It's been fine. It's just been very wet. It's a really wet and windy day again today here. It's just been a really bad weather the last week. Hello to Jay Blue. Hello to Johnny T. So Johnny T asked, with Fox closing down in the UK at the end of June, do you think more Fox shows will be added onto Disney Plus UK? A few are being added in June. Yeah, there's a few being added in June. Obviously, if it ends at the end of June, there's really going to be more July. We're going to see it. Now, I was going through the list of shows that are currently showing on the Fox channel and just seeing who has distribution rights, because I was probably just over half the series are sort of distributed by 20th Century. There's a lot on Fox that isn't actually their shows. There's lots of shows by CBS, like NCIS, Warner Brothers shows, things like that. So I do think that is going to have an issue there. So not everything will be coming over, which is a shame, because I know my parents love NCIS. So that's one of their main shows that they've been loving. So I do think we're going to see a little bit more of that one. Okay. So the random movie fan asks, could Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs come? I don't think that one is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I didn't think that was a So that one is a Sony movie. So okay, so it's a Sony movie. So we wouldn't likely see it in the UK. We could see it on Disney Plus in the United States because of that new deal that Disney have done with them to bring content to it. So there's a very possible to be a franchise that could end up being on Disney Plus in the United States until Sony it. It's just getting so much more confusing with these new deals and stuff coming in. But yeah, so it could very easily come to Disney Plus at some point in the US. Okay, so we've also got so Johnny T said, do you think other Die Hard movies could be added to Disney Plus UK in the future? As soon as they finished up on Now TV or Channel 4, wherever the current streaming contract is, I think everything will be added over there. And then Mick asks, could the Fear of the Walking Dead come to Disney Plus soon? There's been a lot of questions about this on social media. I've been seeing this a lot about Fear of the Walking Dead. Now I'm just going to have a quick look because it really depends on. Yeah, so Disney does have the distribution rights and 20th Century, so they do. So yeah, I'm just looking here. So the regular distribution rights are Entertainment One, which is not Disney, whereas the syndication rights are with ABC Domestic Television. So it really depends. By the looks of it, I'm gathering they might not have the rights to do that. So that might be why there's an issue. So NYCKMP as the Sony deal with Disney in this, I could see family friendly content and Spider-Man coming to Disney Plus while the raunchier stuff goes to Hulu. I totally agree. I think we're definitely going to see that in the US to kind of help boost up Hulu because Hulu's going to need a little bit of a boost. And I think the family friendly stuff will be perfect for Disney Plus. I don't see why not. So Joe says, so with the Fox channel closing down, does that mean we'll be getting American Horror Story Season 9? It hasn't arrived on Netflix yet, and it's been a whole year since it was out on Fox TV. I doubt it. I suspect what it is, you'll find often with these shows is there's like a limit, like maybe like a year, can be a certain amount of months where they air, and then they've got that long. You notice, like, for example, here in the UK, we got Grey's Anatomy Season 16, literally just when Season 17 started on Sky. So there was like a year, and I think we'll have that probably. There might be a clause that they can't go on to it until the new season. There's something in there, and we don't know if future. There's just not really anything written down of how all this works out with Netflix with American Horror Story, but gonna be a fun one I think to watch what's going on with that one. Now that was a really popular one. Right, let's jump into some more questions that we've had from before. Okay, so Streamer asked, with the critical and audience reception of M.O.D.O.K, it's almost guaranteed that we'll get a second season. Do you think we'll see other Marvel do non-canonized to the MCU adult shows in the same vein? I think very much. I think we could end up seeing more animated series. I think if M.O.D.O.K is a big hit, which looks like it is. I mean, I really enjoyed the first episode, so we will have more coming up later. Yeah, I think if it's a success, if the ratings are good, and also in some ways, I mean, we've got the What If show coming up, but adult animated series are so popular. You know, they're so popular, especially on Disney Plus. You look at the trending chart; there's always in there. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. So yeah, I definitely feel like we'll see. I think M.O.D.O.K could become. I mean, they were going to plan that whole series things with the Offenders, but whether or not they just go with one series and kind of do it. Sophia's asks, I think the TWD shows streaming rights are with Amazon Prime in Europe. Yeah, they could very easily be with Amazon. Okay, so let's now look again. Another Fox. It's been a big thing here, really, with Fox closing down here in the UK. So now Fox has announced its closure. Could you see National Geographic, Nat Geo Wild, and Baby TV, which will follow suit over the coming months? This way, Disney can be fully focused on streaming in the UK. I don't think National Geographic will be in the list. First off, there seems to be a deal with Sky, where Sky getting all the National Geographic content first. Also, traditionally, National Geographic tends to skew to a much older audience. So they're the ones typically paying for it. I do think, I mean, we saw recently in Asia where they're closing down all the channels. Pretty much one of the only ones remaining is National Geographic. Also, the National Geographic is like, I think there's like the National Geographic Society owns a little chunk of it. So there's a little bit more of a difference in terms of how that all works out. So I think we are going to see maybe Baby TV could end, but and whether or not National Geographic while, but I think those channels are going to continue on because the audience is much older, and also they are getting rights to it. I personally would be fine with them. I just like them to get them around the same time. I would like just to see us getting all the shows. There's just it looks to me like when you look at what happens with the National Geographic shows, things are very different in terms of how they work out. So Gavin Scott asks, with Warner Media and Discovery merging, there are rumours of Viacom, CBS, and Comcast potentially being next to merge. Do you think this would be a good move considering Paramount Plus is being pushed for an international expansion? There's lots of discussions going on here now of who's going to buy out who. CBS obviously has been boosting up for Paramount Plus. Could they move in with Peacock? I could totally see them happening. I don't know if they could be allowed in the US. I think there's that thing of if you can have the 5 channels have to be separate, and that's kind of why they couldn't buy Fox for Disney. So definitely think we are going to see some more consolidation just to get bigger, to get on par with production for Disney and Netflix. So I think we're definitely going to see something going on there. And Gavin also asked, since the news about The Walking Dead in the UK and new episodes being added on Mondays, do you think we'll see more shows being dropped on Disney Plus the day after airing in the US? Almost no excuse for Big Sky not to be like this. Now, I completely agree with the idea of getting us having the same episodes at the same time. I'd be happy to have them the same time as Hulu. I think I would be quite happy with them to, put them up at that time or the day after. It's difficult. It's hard to say. Well, they can't do it. Well, they do it with the Disney Plus original, so why not? It's going to come down to it's a really tricky one. I mean, I really hope at some point Disney are going to sort out what they're doing with their distribution of these new episodes. Why are we waiting for these Disney Channel shows to be dropping in chunks? Why aren't we getting them the same time as the US? Why? And I think we're gonna see a bit more of this. In June and July, National Geographic are trying out something with the Gordon Ramsay series in the US. That's going to be dropping every Friday. They've been doing something with Secrets of Sulphur Springs. They've been doing that. There's testing going on. They're trying stuff. They're trying different things out. I think the the Walking Dead on the Mondays is because that's such an established show, and with spoilers and all the rest of it, I think that's something that they've kind of maybe they want to get people in on. That might just be a one-off, but I just think we just need to get clarity and a global clarity. So, all the channels, all the stations that don't have it, like Australia and the UK, get it at a set time. It's just an absolute mess at the minute, and it's horrible. And again, Big Sky maybe for season 2, but we're never going to get it for season 1. Let's look again here at the live chat. So Johnny asks, do you think The Walking Dead World Beyond could be a Star original? Now, the thing is, you've got to think with this Walking Dead stuff is Disney might not own the rights to every single series. It might just be they only have the rights to that one series. So that's the thing. And again, it's not, they don't make it, they've just got rights to it. So it's not one of their properties. So I think it is pretty tricky with this one. Joe asks, when is the deal ending with Netflix? Hate these contracts. Also, are you getting early access to Cruella? Okay, as far as I wish these contracts would get sorted, but I think we're going to have them for a while. It does feel like us in the UK are now feeling what the US was getting, where we were having more contracts. I think the 20th century stuff was much more messy. It's still better than the US, but things as far as Cruella, you'll see my review on Wednesday. So yeah, that'll be a bit early. Also NYCKMP, bit off topic. Can you see Amazon are buying out regional sports networks from Comcast and AT&T? ESPN will be streaming NHS games, but not mostly out of the market. I can't see Apple getting in on sports. I think Amazon will be. I think Amazon probably will get in on that, but I don't think Apple will. Joe asks, when will New Mutants be coming to the Disney Plus in the UK? Not sure. I know it's coming in Australia in June, so they are getting it. So it's probably going to start coming in soon. I don't know why it's been taking so long, but I think it was part of an M.O.D.O.K deal. James says, I'm just waiting for Taco Bell to buy out all the streaming companies and be promised our Demolition Man future. Yeah, if we can get the free shells, that'd probably be quite good. I quite like the idea of if you crash, the whole car fills up with styrofoam. Josh has said Viacom and Comcast would be problematic on both sides of the pond. It would end up with Comcast owning Sky and Channel 5 in the UK as well as NBC and CBS in the US. Yeah, see, I think that is a problem because Comcast could probably buy out Warner Media or Warner Media's new like thing much easier than Viacom because of those different bits and pieces. So that is a little bit more tricky. Josh said, "How do you think Disney will react to these mergers and acquisitions?" They're probably sitting there now going, "What can we buy?" I mean, they've just got through Fox. That's a big one. I'm sure they're constantly got people looking to buy stuff, constantly looking to get things. But also, they've got to sort themselves out. They've got to sort out their streaming strategy because they're going to be looking at all this and going. They're seeing the same thing we're seeing with HBO Max. Adding adverts, Paramount adding adverts. Everyone getting stronger. They're going to have to start doing it. But ultimately, they've got to. I think they need to buy out they've got to spend that money on Comcast to get Hulu first. So they can't really spend any money till they got that one sorted, probably. The Random Movie Fan asks, could any of the ESPN stuff come to Disney Plus, just like how the Runaways from Hulu is on Disney Plus? I don't think we're going to see it in the United States. I think ESPN Plus, they need that content over there in the US. Internationally, we have been getting a lot of the ESPN Plus documentaries, the 30 for 30s. We have been getting quite a few of them. But it depends if Disney get hold of BT Sports over here, then we could see something going on with ESPN. So I don't know. Darth Starver. Do you think The Last Man Standing will come to Star? I think Last Man Standing, is that I think that's the one with Tim Allen, isn't it? So, don't know where that one is right now. Last Man Standing. I don't know because that was Last Man Standing. Let's see where that is now, because it's not anywhere to stream. So I suppose it could do, but I'm pretty sure that one there coming up. We also have right. Okay, so Joe asks, why can't Disney and Netflix just share the rights to American Horror Stories? I thought Disney owned the rights. It's not a case of who owns it; it's the fact of what content. It's just it is a pain, but if you've got a contract with your Netflix, you're not going to want to give up one of your biggest series. In Netflix's point of view, I can see why would they want to. They want to keep everything. Joshua says, I think they've been adding. Yeah, they have been adding the ESPN documentaries. Darth Sarvant asks, there's a rumor that ITV might be taken over. Do you think Disney would buy them out? I don't think Disney will. Disney ain't interested in live television anymore. They're not doing it. They might want some production companies, but I don't think they want a news network. They've already got ABC News. I don't think they'd be in the mode to buy it. So Johnny C said, I've just seen the rating for Cruella and saw it's a 12 in the UK. Be interested to see if they push the boundaries. It's a bit higher than rating them. Listen, I'm not going to talk about Cruella until next week. It's just easier. The Random Movie Fan asks, could any of the Disney XD original shows come to Disney Plus UK, since some of them are rated 14 in America? Yeah, I think anything from the Disney XD era is fine, long as they got the rights to it. Because they've not, I think like the Pokemon and stuff, they didn't. Mick asks, hopefully the Sony deal will come to the UK and Ireland. I hope so too. I think it'd be good for the internationally for everyone. Just easier. I'm just finding now with the Star thing, it's got a lot more complicated with Star. Up till like February, it was kind of quite easy. You kind of had it was very easy just to kind of do everything at the same. It's like, oh yeah, you're all getting roughly the same thing. And then Star happened, and then it kind of all went all over the place. Right, let's have a look here at some other questions that we have got in. So Connor asks, how do you see Fox content distributed on Disney Plus, either a little at a time or dropped at once, like when the Disney Channel Junior XD closed? I think we'll probably see a big chunk of the older stuff, and then anything that's new will then just be stretched out. But yeah, I definitely think they'll be dropping a few things on there. I mean, I know we're getting War of the Worlds is dropping at the end of May, and then we're getting The Walking Dead dropping at the beginning of July, and Orville in September. So yeah. Josh says, I think with Star, most of us are getting migraines trying to figure out the whole situation. It is very complicated, especially this week with the Fox news. I mean, it really is kind of shaking up what's going on for it all. It's very interesting. Joseph asks, will Disney Plus fix the X-Men cartoon as the episodes are out of order? And have they fixed Spider-Man as a few other animation shows? What month will Golden Girls drop? Golden Girls, they said in a press interview event in February, which I was on watching, it said summer, so that could be June, July, August. It's definitely not coming in June, so it's going to be either July or August for the UK and maybe other international areas. It's already on Hulu in the United States. As far as Spider-Man has been fixed. They are doing a number of things this summer, moving some shows around, fixing things. They have got a list of stuff that they're going through on Disney Plus to fix. So there's quite a few bits and pieces there. So that's definitely a good thing. Just a quick note as well, just a reminder, if you are watching live, feel free to you can become a member to join in. You can also use the super chat function as well to join in with the live chat. So that was those questions there. Okay, let's go back to the live question. So Josh just said, personally, I think the Fox channel situation is similar to what happened to Disney Plus, where they couldn't agree a carriage fee and decided to close it and concentrate on... I don't know. It's really odd. I think they've almost got to that point now where they don't need to have those shows on. I mean, I'm looking at it now of Sky's becoming less and less of it. You look on there, they've not been pushing up Fox. They won't have to spend money rebranding it, and I think them not rebranding it like they did in Latin America was very much telling that they didn't want to use it. It makes sense for them to close it. And most of it's old stuff. If they're putting all the new shows on Disney Plus, the Fox channel essentially just becomes a repeat show. I don't know. I never really put it as a top tier channel anyway, because everything was so out of date on it. I rarely ever went and watched anything on there because it was way down deep on Sky. But yeah, definitely not one to me. Okay, let's have a look, see what else we've got here. So we got Jay Blue asks, what will happen with the Beatles movie that is supposed to open in theaters in August? Nothing. I think everything's still planning. I think that will be fine because it's a documentary, so it won't pull in huge amounts of numbers of people. So I think that will be fine. Darth Sarwin asks, any updates on New Mutants coming to the UK? Not yet, but it is coming to Australia in June, so hopefully it will start rolling around soon. NYCK asks, should Hotstar be part of the Disney bundle in the United States? I know in some countries Hotstar is integrated in with Disney Plus. Ideally, I wanted Hotstar to become the sixth pillar on Disney Plus in the US to make things easier. Compared to Disney Plus, Hotstar's user face is messy. Now, as far as Hotstar's an interesting one. I'll be honest, I'm looking at probably in like sort of September time. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit more looking into into Hotstar, doing a little bit more coverage and stuff. So I haven't really looked too much into it yet. But the big thing with in the UK and in Australia and in US, we do actually have Hotstar as a streaming service, but it's only primarily used for Indian content, and I don't think that can be merged in with Disney Plus right now, because I think it's just the wrong type of content in terms of what they're trying to go for. I could see it being added into Hulu. I could see them doing that way. Whereas like Netflix has been able to put in lots of Indian content, Disney's kind of in this weird thing of trying to work out what it is. It is such a weird thing of trying to work out how they're going to do it. I just feel like in some countries they can't, especially if there's thousands of titles, you can't suddenly have all of that being merged in, and then kids can't, people can't find, the Disney stuff. It's a very tricky line. I think it's, at the minute, it makes sense for them to kind of keep it separate, because I think in like Thailand and India and stuff, had they not done it separately, it wouldn't have pulled people in. So it's a very tricky one, but I think ultimately it would be stronger with it in there. I personally would have everything in one app and just used it as far as I'm still surprised they went with the Star branding for internationally, because it is quite close to Hotstar. But yeah, I just don't know what about you guys? Let me know in the comments if you think they should add Hotstar in with everything as well. Okay, so the random movie fan asks, will the Sony deal come to Canada as well, since Warner Brothers and Disney made a deal where they could make movies? At the minute it's just US. I mean, they could do it, but they might. It's all down to money, and we don't know how, and we don't know what contracts Sony's made internationally, so it might be a bit more messy. So let's have a look here at the live chat. So what have we got? So John asks, what is your favourite show you've watched on Disney Star? Mine is Scrubs and 24. Now I did watch 24 right through when it originally debuted. So I'm not going to go through and watch. I'm not so good on that one there. As far as other shows, I've been currently really enjoying Blackish. I'm on to season 5 now. Been watching through Hot Zone. Also been watching Genius. I like watching new stuff. I'm actually looking forward to watching Walking Dead because I've only watched the first episode from the first, and I haven't watched any more of it yet. So I'm very much along the lines of I'd much rather watch a brand new series than something. I'm not very good at watching something I've seen already, especially with TV. TV for me is something you can just watch and just kind of jump into it. So yeah, but let me know what you guys are all enjoying on Star. I'd love to hear what you're saying as well. So Barry, thank you very much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. That does make a huge difference. And yeah, thank you for that. So could we see extended versions of the Spider-Man movies go to Disney Plus? I think, I think we could do. I think we could easily see extended versions of them arriving on there. You know, why not? Put the director's cut or the extended version. You know, that would be great. I would. So I'm just not James. Just I can't get him to stop talking about the ish shows. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just really in the zone for watching them because I'm just waiting for Mixed Dish now to drop on. When you find a show that you enjoy and you're watching through it all, I'm just really enjoying it. But I'm just enjoying those shows. Look, at this rate, I'm going to probably be done with Blackish season 5, and that's the last of them on the UK. So I'm not going to have as many of them to watch. I'm going to find something else. So no, never mind. Okay, so Johnny T said, do you think there'll be more reality shows on Disney Plus, either as Star or Disney Plus originals, like talent shows, game shows, Big Brother type shows? They have hired people to run the reality unscripted things, and we are going to see more of them. I think for Star, it would make a lot of sense to kind of. I mean, we're getting that getting the Kardashians show, which is going to be a Star original. I think that's going to be a big pull in. I think we will see more of them dropping in. I think we're definitely going to see more of them dropping in on. And also, I think COVID has just made it. I don't know about game shows. I mean, Disney are already making loads of them. It doesn't look like I'm surprised that we've not been getting like the US TV series. You know, all the ones that they make. So yeah, I definitely feel like that is something that we could see in the future. I'm surprised they haven't dropped the US ones on there, but personally for me, I'm fine with that. I don't know would you go back and watch a game show from 10 years ago? I know I probably wouldn't. Joe said, I'm excited for Star when it was announced in December, but these contracts are so annoying. They are annoying. I think the trouble is, especially with like Disney Plus and All Stream, sometimes we get a little bit too focused on what's not on there and rather than what's on there. I mean, if you look on there now, you look on the Disney Plus, you see all that stuff. It's fantastic. There's so much selection. It's just that everyone seems to generally focus on what's not there rather than what is there. And sometimes I wish people would be like, just we know we've got these contracts. It's going to take years to get out of it. But yeah, it is annoying. Joe said the new Mutants is coming to Sky Cinema in June. Well, that could be it. It could be that it has to go to Sky Cinema first, or it could be shared. So that's the other key thing. John Patrick has asked, any news on when Angels in Outfield is coming on? No, haven't heard a single thing about that one. Ben just said a new Loki trailer's just dropped. Cool. I think they're kind of in their zone now. We're seeing so many trailers. I'm not going to watch any more Loki trailers. I get to a certain point where I don't want to know anymore. I want to go in blank, so I'm not going to watch any more of those Loki things. So John said, like your content. Thank you very much. Really glad you enjoy it. And then Theos as I'm not sure what Hotstar and Indian content in on Disney Plus. Amazon have a lot of Indian stuff on Prime, and it's a little bit, I think, annoying or arm-longing how it's on there. If it gets put into its own section, I think it's good there. It makes sense for it to be at the minute the way they've done it, but I think if they were to have to slowly introduce bits, they couldn't just drop hundreds of things. NYCKMP has asked, if Amazon does buy MGM, do you see Handmaid's Tale coming to Amazon Prime outside the US? I know it's branded as a Hulu original in the US, but it's a product of MGM. Yes, very much could see it. I think Channel 4 have got the rights in the UK, so it depends on each country where it is. And then Johnson asked, when is Jojo Rabbit coming to It was in the advertisement for for launch. It is available in some countries. I know it's available in like Australia and stuff. I don't know where it is right now. In the UK, it's on Sky. It's on Now, and it is leaving Now TV at the end of in the middle of September. So it won't be on. I'm looking forward to watching that movie. I watched it on a plane a couple of years ago, and I would like to watch it again on big screen. So that's definitely one I want to watch. Let's jump now into some of the other questions. So the random movie fan says that when the Sony deal, we've done that one. So Mick said Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic has been cancelled. Disappointed after hearing that. Well, it's not. It's not cancelled. It's just no longer in active development. That means it's been put kind of on a shelf to be dealt with later. They are working on a number of other shows, so there's lots of stuff coming. They've got to work out what they're doing with the character. You know, if it was going to be the Cara Dune show, they need to work out where they can do it, how can they change it, what can they do with it. I think this show's been in a bit of an issue for a while, so I do think that it's not in active development because probably they've got to work out what they're doing with it, and it's probably easier to just kind of. They didn't announce who was in it, so it doesn't necessarily mean who we thought was going to be in it was going to be in it, because they were setting it up in The Mandalorian, but they could just mean that non-active development could be put on the shelf for years. The random movie fan asks, will Dragon Ball Resurrection F and Broly come to Disney Plus since Sony Pictures owns the US rights and Fox internationally? I think it's in the US. If Sony have got it, then it might not come under it. It might still stay on this streaming service that they've got. I think was it Funimation. I think, and so yeah, I don't know. Internationally, if they got distribution rights, they could do like anything right now. And Joe asks, American Horror Stories is coming to Disney Plus in the UK in July. So with the Fox channel closing down in UK and Ireland, does that mean American Horror Story double feature will stream on Disney Plus UK? My pure guess is we'll get the new episodes weekly, like they would do in the US, like they would have aired on FX, and unfortunately, probably a year afterwards, they'll go to Netflix. That's my gut feeling on these news. We will get them, but it will be limited. Let's jump into the live chat. So I think we've gone through all of so we've gone through all of the pre-done questions, so that's cool. So now we've just got the live chat one. So we've got about 5 to 10 more minutes. So if you've got any more live questions, feel free to chop them in. So John Patrick Van Pelt asks, do you ever see Disney Plus and Hulu merging into one app? Yes, I do. I definitely think it's going to happen at some point sooner rather than later. They're going to have to buy out Comcast, and then they might have to work out what Hulu might end up living on as this premium live TV service, like the $60 package. But I can see them adding Disney Plus into that to kind of make it better. But I think they're going to have to. I don't think Hulu is strong enough just with FX and ABC and 20th Century Studios and such. It just doesn't feel strong enough on its own. That's just my personal. What about you? Let me all know. Do you think, as someone that's got Star on Disney Plus, it does feel a little bit like, yeah, well, I've got that now, so what I think you should all. I think Star should be international. So yeah, definitely. Okay, so Theos asks, would really like more reality shows on Disney Plus would be good idea. Netflix has been adding a lot of them right now. The thing is, well, reality TV show, they're cheap. They're much cheaper to make than a Mandalorian. Getting things on there. I'd like to see The Amazing Race. The big US ones. I know we've just had the race around the race around the world, the National Geographic one, has just dropped in the US. The Bachelor, Bachelorette, could have something like that. Those one could be popular. All those kind of things could. We've not really got a lot of that on Disney Plus, but that's a huge market. Probably very much with the female audience as well. That would be a huge, huge draw to get people to drop in, and I think the Kardashians would be a big first initial thing. So I'm sure we will see more on that. And there's a number of reality TV shows, that would be good. And again, it could help them with their quotas for individual countries if they make them in, make an Australian one, make a Canada one, you make one in Europe, etc. So Lady Jennifer Snow, hello to you. We wish we had Disney Plus and Hulu in one app. I really wish it, or even just add Disney Plus within the Hulu app. Just get around it that way. I really do something. Ben said I used to watch The Amazing Race. I haven't watched it in years. I'm a big fan of travel shows, and I haven't seen it in years. So I would really love to see them put on over here so we could watch them. I'll just put them everywhere. Um, uh, is it? So then we got MYCKMP as I hope they retool Rangers of the New Republic as a Bo-Katan and a Koshi Reeves as the lead. Sasha Banks from as a part timer for WWE. I wouldn't mind seeing her more in Star Wars. As a big WWE fan, more than happy to see Sasha Banks step out and do some more work. As I think she had a good. I think that would be a nice way. The trouble is with that is then does that really tie into being Rangers of the New Republic because they're Mandalorians. That's the only kind of thing. But yeah, I'd love to see more of them. Johnny T said, "Do you think they could do some concert movies to Disney Plus?" I think it makes sense that if they're going to do a big tour, film it, turn it into original. I definitely think they're going to be looking now, trying to utilize everything they do to make more money. So John, how do you think Disney Plus would add a live TV? I don't think. I mean, they've back before Disney Plus actually launched, we had Disney Live here in the UK. And we actually did have Disney Channel, Disney Junior, and Disney XD live feeds. And that was kind of like the only way we could watch some stuff. So I don't think they're going to do it in Disney Plus. I don't think they'll do it. I think they have been doing live streams in Hotstar for the sports stuff. They also are going to be doing it in Star Plus in Latin America. I don't think they'll do it in the US as part of Disney Plus. I think when you think of live TV, the price that they're charging for that is extortionate, because it's basically cable. It's just cable through Hulu. So I could almost see Hulu carrying on with that if that's still profitable. So Joe says, "I'm really glad Anastasia's finally on Disney Plus UK. Have you? No, I've never watched it. It's a show I've never watched, a movie I've never watched. Probably should be one, maybe do around Christmas time as one of our retro reviews." Joe said, "What are you looking forward to most in June on Disney Plus UK?" Right, so as far as the UK, Love Victor season 2, really looking forward to seeing that one coming back. Genius Aretha, that's a show I'm definitely looking forward to. We got Rebel dropping the first episode this week, so I'll have a review up for that on Thursday. However, obviously with that being cancelled, my interest in it has slightly dipped. Luca's definitely good. Loki is there. That's one I'm really looking forward to. So that kind of. Also the Mysterious Benedict Society, but that's a little bit lower. James said, "Oh, I've never seen Anastasia either." Agree. Well, I think James will have to definitely do the retro one for Anastasia. It's definitely kind of in that Christmas period, so I definitely think we need to put that one in the book for if neither of us has seen it. That's always a good way of jumping in and watching one of those movies. Like I said, today I did put up the 101 Dalmatians retro review on the YouTube channel. I have not put up the audio version because I'm just trying to sort out the audio platform and trying to upload it. So definitely check out that video from earlier today. Joe said, "I can't wait for Mysterious Benedict Society, Luca, and Loki." I mean, 3 just great originals. Just 3 great new originals. I mean, we would have been treated with just one of them a year ago, and now we got all of them dropping in. I know when I was putting together the articles on the website for like this originals coming this coming June, so many great stuff. Lots of variety. Especially for us with Star Originals, really max. I'm just glad they moved Loki off of Fridays, because that would have been quite a lot. Right, okay, so we've got about 2 more minutes. If you've got any more questions, feel free to pop them in. Jay said Jay is going to be an awesome month. I think June is looking a really solid, especially for those of us internationally. Just some great originals. The only thing is, I think we would have been better off having a little bit more classic content for, especially with like older movies. I think that's the one thing that seemed to be lacking. But I think June looks a great lineup. I mean, every week we've got something. It's just looking really strong. Right, okay. So as I said, thank you very much for everyone for joining in. Thank you very much as well to Barry MK400 for your super chat. That is really appreciative. There won't be a live stream next Sunday, so we won't be doing a Q&A next week. I'll be doing it the week after. I'm taking the weekend off. It's my birthday, so I'm taking a weekend off, and I'll be back for a live Q&A the following week. So just a quick note, next week there won't be one. I think that's probably the only one for till August. There won't be one as well at some point because I'm going to be away. But it's going to be yeah, should be good. So again, thank you very much to everyone for being in there. So big hello to you've obviously got James, who we've got Johnny, we got Joe, we got Jay Blue, we've got Lady Jennifer, Ben. NYCK. I need to ask you what an easier name for me to say on that one. Fierce, also John, the other John. Yeah, just a huge thank you to everyone that was in there. Joshua, Mick, thank you so much to everyone for being a member. It really makes these so much more fun interacting with everyone. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. Hope you all have a fantastic May Bank holiday, and I shall see you live in 2 weeks. But obviously, there will be episodes and videos going every day in between. Until then, thank you very much, guys. Cheers.